Bagel. Awesome. Bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, yeah, I'm going. Alright. This time, guys, I'm remembering. I am silencing my phone. Therefore, no texts from others interrupting the stream. Alright. So we got one person viewing the stream. It's probably me. That is fine. Alright, yeah, we'll wait for just a minute here. So far, so good. No dropped frames. Hopefully we'll have it just like last time. And we'll have none. Well, next to none. There's only a few small ones. I hope it looks a lot better in here too, because I have my curtain up. And so it's bringing it a little more light, because the light comes through more through the blind than through the curtain. It's usually have both of them down. I like it nice and dark in here at night. Alright. Coffee. Wow. That is very warm. Okay. Yep, so yeah, we'll just wait a moment here just to make sure everything is good. People can come in. People know that we're live. And they can eat a little more bagel. 2 people watching. Boom! I am Mr. Popularity. PewDiePie, eat your heart out. Comedy, that's what you came here for, right, folks? Some good old nice cold water to fill the gullet while you're waiting for your cup of joe. Alright. So, let me make sure I have everything. Yes. Oh. I need that up. Maybe? Okay. I now have that up. Yep. I have that there. I have him here. Yes. Alright. So, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin episode 4 of the Chitty-Chat cast. So, we will begin in 3, 2, 1. Hey, everyone. I'm MacGyver. And welcome to the Chitty-Chat cast, podcast dedicated to talk about random stuff, because why not? This week our quote comes from Meowth from the popular Pokemon series. This comes way back from, I believe, the year 2000, in which Meowth says, "We do have a lot in common. The same earth, the same air, the same sky. Maybe if we started looking at what's the same instead of always looking at what's different, well, who knows?" For any of you who can correctly guess or say where that quote is from, I will say right now it is not from an episode, so maybe that will help you guys. If any of you are diehard Pokemon fans out there, you will know where that came from and how popular and how meaningful that quote is, which is also relevant to our main topic for today, which we will get to in just a little bit. So yes, currently we are live yet again on YouTube. Third time in a row. Last time went extremely smooth. We had almost no dropped frames. We had some activity going on in the chat between me and you guys asking me stuff. It was awesome. It was fun. Hopefully we can get the same thing going today or something just as good. Another thing is my hair may look like a little wild, it's flinging out in the back. It's because I did take a shower this morning, and I've noticed that depending on how I either dry my hair or I comb my hair afterwards, it does this weird flippy thing out the back. Like last week, it was like way out. It was weird. I looked like, what's his name, Ashton Kutcher, and Dude, Where's My Car? I think. Yeah, I think that's what it's like. Not so much the front, but like the back, the flipping out is sort of what it reminded me of. I don't know. I have never seen the movie. Never been a big Ashton Kutcher fan either. Just never really suited my style, but, well, you know. Anyway, so, continuing on with our tradition of the Chitty-Chat cast of going through movies for every year I've been born, plus going back 20 more to catch all those other good ones out there. We begin our day in 1981. This is actually a very popular year of things that I've watched, but not for like the main reason why 1981 was popular. 1981 was the start of a lot of like horror and thriller and like Halloween type movies that you associate. I can't pinpoint the exact ones from the year. I don't have it up currently, but these are the movies like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Fright Night, all of those sort of movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, those sort of ones that sort of like set the precedent for like horror movies back in the 80s. That's sort of what came out a lot this year, but not the ones I've seen because I am not into that stuff. For those of you who are wondering what's going on down here, I'm trying to get my phone set up, but the Wi-Fi is not connecting. But movies I have seen, starting off with Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first in the Indiana Jones trilogy. Now, what you guys may not be able to see there on the live stream is there's a little asterisk at the end there. Or for you guys listening at home only through your ears and cannot catch my very subtle sarcasm, we are saying trilogy because who really wants to consider Kingdom of the Crystal Skull a part of the actual Indiana Jones series? I mean, it was something, but it wasn't Indiana Jones. So, Raiders of the Lost Ark. This was I'm trying to remember. I think this was also the first Indiana Jones movie I saw. It's either that or The Last Crusade. It's one of those two. I can never remember exactly which one it was, but it was one of those two. And it was one of those when my brother and I first started watching it. It was one of those we watched the entire trilogy within a couple weekends. This was back during our hockey days, and so like a couple hour drives back and forth to events, we would pop on in scenes out there. Yeah, like almost 2-hour movies, and they were really good. I mean, Harrison Ford coming off and doing Star Wars, doing Indiana Jones is amazing. It's action-packed. There's that subtle humor in there. It's almost like he's playing Han Solo, but on Earth, and has a little more smarts to him. Not that I'm saying Han Solo doesn't have smarts, but he's a lot more trying to act as the suave guy. Whereas in Indiana Jones, he's a little more of the scholarly area. So yeah, it was really good. Raiders of the Lost Ark. I believe this is Miriam Ravenwood. I can't remember her last name. I believe it's Miriam. Is the female sidekick in there. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, it was really good. Sort of, yeah, a different sort of thing. There's always that end scene. I mean, I don't think we really need a spoiler warning tag here at the bottom. But yeah, it is the movie that has the whole opening of the Ark of the Covenant and the people's faces melting, which seems really creepy when you're about the age of like 10, 12. It's not something you really expect. So yeah, it's one of those, like, the first time you see it, if you're really young, it's sort of one of those, like, cover your eyes moments and, like, peeking through, like, is it done yet? But yeah, it's a really good movie. I wouldn't say it's a classic, but it's a must, not like a must-see, it's a should-see. Like, a should-see, must-see. If you have the time and you need something, watch it. That's the type of movie it is. And it's one of those that will get you hooked and you'll want to watch the other two. That next movie is Escape from New York, the Kurt Russell movie, and I believe the director was John Carpenter. I could be talking out my bum there, but I'm pretty sure that's him. Anyways, Escape from New York. One of the reasons why I mainly want to watch this is I'm not like a huge Kurt Russell fan, but I like quite a bit of stuff that Kurt Russell's in. I find him he's a really good actor, especially in the 80s. He's one of those who he's definitely more like well known for either his actions or his mouth. That's sort of how it is. It's either you like him from what he says or what he does. And Escape from New York I wanted to see mainly because a lot of other places like libraries and I think it was even on Netflix for a little while, they had Escape from LA. Escape from Los Angeles, which is the sequel. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I want to watch the first one. Well, I cannot find the first one anywhere. So I actually hadn't seen it up until like a month ago where I put-lockered it. And it looks like we dropped a few frames there for a second. Yeah, I looked it up on Putlocker, which I'm sure almost any of you know what that is. And so I watched that, and it was decent. It wasn't as good as what I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be a little better, but at the same time, I wasn't getting my hopes too up for it. But it has made me think if I really want to watch the sequel of it. But yeah, it is Kurt Russell playing Snake Plissken, who non-canonically is playing Solid Snake, or Snake from the Metal Gear Solid series, as like what people think he's being is because of the eye patch and everything, and the way he talks and how he smokes and everything, that he's portraying him in like the movies. There's great debate over if that's true or not. Many people say no, and I would probably say that as well. Next on the list is For Your Eyes Only. This is Roger Moore starring in the middle of his career. This was one of the ones that I didn't see towards the end of seeing all of the Bond films. It was one of those I'd never heard much about, never really popularized that well. So I was like, I'll just save it. I'll see all the ones I really want to see first, and then I'll go back and see it. And yeah, it's a pretty mad Bond movie. I mean, there's tons of them that I would probably watch before it. If I was like, oh, I want to watch a Bond film, I wouldn't choose that as my number one, or like probably even in my top 10. It's probably way down there towards number 15 if I had to say out of the 23. So it's decent. It's a Roger Moore. I'm trying to remember looking from that. I do believe this has the Lotus Esprit in it, possibly as an underwater vehicle, possibly. I'm not entirely sure. I do believe For Your Eyes Only does take place in some like cavernous areas or something. So like these long peaks in the mountains and such that strongholds are built on. It's very beautiful, some of the scenes in that movie. I do remember that. But yeah, it's just not a really popular one in my book. And then of course we get to one of my favorite Disney movies. One of the ones that was my favorite when I was really young, and one of those that even really young and even now would still make me cry a little bit. If you guys haven't figured that out by now, it's The Fox and the Hound. The super feel-good childhood friendship movie. Oh, everybody who's seen Fox and the Hound loves Fox and the Hound. It's such an amazing, such a good movie. And at the end, you always hit that solitary or a couple tears, like... It's such a good movie, and yeah, it portrays it so well between these animals and its owners and whatnot that yeah, it's just really good. And then they came out with the sequel. I have never seen the sequel. Sequel came out many years later. I don't know. I want to say it's actually like early 2000s, maybe if not really late 90s. Then it came out, and yeah, it was this weird thing. They decided to come out with a sequel, and I never really understood why. It's one of these sort of movies, Disney sort of did sequels, but they did it in a way to where, if in the original movie, it went from like kid to adult throughout the end of the movie, the sequel sort of took someplace in the middle, like when they're either close to a kid or not. And yeah, this looks opposite to you guys, and I think I need to flip my. Let's see if I can do it right now. This may look extremely weird. Let's see if I can change the settings. Oh, that'll be freaky. Just you guys wait. I'm waiting for it to show up on stream because it's going to just be. Oh, there it went. Oh, sorry. I just had to get a kick out of that for a second there. Yeah, that's one of the weird things is I believe if I do it, I can actually I can minimize camera while it's streaming. I can like move myself about. Woo! Anyway, that's enough fun. I don't know if it'll actually show up on stream. Yes, it is. Sorry, I need a little fun in my new. It's a little. Well, it's not so much early in the morning anymore. It's getting closer to noon now on this nice Saturday. Hopefully, it's a nice Saturday. So yeah, Fox and the Hound, extremely good movie. A couple other ones that I want to see from that year is Time Bandits. Time Bandits, of course, starring Sean Connery, one of my absolute famous actors I like from all time, because of course he was the Bond. And then I believe almost a lot of the rest of the like well-known cast of the movie is actually from Monty Python. But I don't know if they actually advertise themselves as Monty Python in the movie, but it has, people like John Cleese and people from Monty Python in it. Sort of those actors who always group themselves together. So, yes, then of course there's also this movie called Cannonball Run, which actually stars, I believe, Burt Reynolds and actually has Roger Moore in it. And it's supposed to be one of these sort of car chase movies of, everybody racing towards a place, they're doing random hijinks and antics towards each other and whatnot. So, yeah. It looked like an interesting movie, interesting premise that I might watch. I know they did a couple sequels off of it, but I don't know if I'll do it or not. I'll have to find it first. Anyways, now of course moving on to our new segment of the stream, in which we are going through whatever actor's birthday is today. I'm going to choose the one that I know that is most well known to me, or that I believe I know if for sure I've seen many movies from him, and I'm going to pick my favorite movie from him. So, one of the things I'm going to do right now is, if this comes up nice and well, I am actually going to poof. Poof. It's not working. It's supposed to be showing up right here next to my face. And it's not. That is interesting. Okay. Well then, alright. We'll try it now. Oh, okay. Ta-da! There we go. And if I enlarge it up, and I bring him right over here, our man for today is Rufus Sewell, and that quality is not good at all. Can I zoom in? Will that make it any better? No. Can I go into its settings? Yeah, it's not going to help at all. Anyways, today's man of the hour is Rufus Sewell, who some of you may know immediately from pop culture and everything. Let's just click on his face. Can we get that any bigger? There we go. Ta-da! Look at my amazing split second trying to figure stuff out. Editing skills. Anyways, this is the man of the hour. So, we are going to be going through my favorite movie that he has been in from... Oh, wait, I don't need to pick a year. I just need to look at the films he's been in. Which he's actually been in quite... I don't want to say he's been in like quite a few, but he's been in quite a few well-known ones. So, starting with what he has most recently been in, Gods of Egypt. I've still not seen Gods of Egypt. Post in the comments below or in the chat right now or somewhere if any of you guys have actually seen Gods of Egypt and what you think of it. So I've been thinking about watching it for a long time. I still have not seen it. Let's see. Some of those I haven't seen. The Tourist. This is a really good film. And he actually doesn't play a huge part in it. He actually plays an extremely minor part, which is the hilarious thing about this movie. And in The Tourist, it's mainly about Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie. I can never remember if it's Jolie or Garner in the movie. It's Angelina Jolie, and yeah, Johnny Depp is a tourist who is out in, I believe it's Italy, Venice. It's one of those areas, and yeah, Angelina Jolie, she's looking for this guy. She pretends to fall in love with Johnny Depp to get to this guy. Everybody thinks who she's looking for is Rufus Sewell. But there's this huge twist at the end. It's hilarious. But yeah, he plays a very minor part in it. But it's still an extremely good movie. Also sort of like a romantic movie as well. The Illusionist. One of my favorite magic type films. Where he plays Crown Prince Leopold. I can't remember exactly. I want to say it's Austria. That's right. I have the movie right here. Paul Giamatti in Vienna. So, Italy. Crown Prince Leopold of Italy. I had to guess. Yeah. But yeah, it's an extremely good movie. It also has Edward Norton, Jessica Biel, Paul Giamatti in it. Who actually got her name right? I can't ever get her name right. I keep thinking it's Abiel. I don't know why, but yeah, it's an extremely good movie of Edward Norton being this illusionist, magically type guy, but in that era of time, a lot of the stuff that he does, people think it's like dark magic or he's doing like really like supernatural stuff, and people start criticizing him and everything. Yeah, really want to try and debunk how he does stuff. So otherwise, yeah, they think he's some supernatural force that shouldn't be alive. It's really good. Let's see. Then, of course, there is the pinnacle one that he's been in, and that is A Knight's Tale, where he's played Count Adhemar. The main opponent to Heath Ledger in A Knight's Tale, which is such a good movie with such great quotes from such good people. It's one of those, I actually saw this really young, and I've loved it to this day. Actually, when I first saw it, it was on VHS, and then my mother got it on DVD. It is an amazing movie, and sure, there are a couple sketchy-ish type scenes in it, but it was PG-13 for the early 2000s. They got away with a couple different things. But yeah, with people like Alan Tudyk, Paul Bettany, Rufus Sewell, Mark Andy, of course Heath Ledger, it's like, there's so many great people in this movie. It's so hard not to like it, and the message and the plot of it is so enticing. The music, with most of it being by Queen, you can't help but love this movie, and it's probably what's going to get my vote. Because I don't know if I've actually seen him in some of the older stuff. Just looking through here, I want to say Illusionist and Illusionist and A Knight's Tale, the main things besides The Tourist. And yeah, I'm going to rule out The Tourist right off the bat, partially because he's not a big part in it. I don't want to disregard him because of that, but he is a really good actor, but he just doesn't play. He's not like the main focus of the movie. So yeah, it's probably going to be between A Knight's Tale and The Illusionist, and I'm going to have to give it to The Illusionist without a not The Illusionist, The Knight's Tale without a second thought, just because The Illusionist is extremely good and it's enticing. Rufus Sewell isn't also like one of the really main characters. He's like if you would take all like the most all the famous actors in the movie, he's probably third or fourth down. So he's not like the really main person. He's like the main antagonist, which I guess would consider him a main character in the movie, but he's not focused on as much. He's a little more to the side, but he's still extremely good. But in Knight's Tale, he's that main force. He's the main antagonist who's always there, who's always up against our main character, Sir Ulrich von Liechtenstein. Ugh, you can never forget that name. It's always ingrained in your mind. It's so good. So yeah, Knight's Tale is going to have to take it from Rufus Sewell, whose birthday is today. Congratulations. He is, looking at that, 49. So next year he'll be the big 5-0 from the looks of it. But yes. So that rounds out that segment of the Chitty-Chat cast. Let's see how the coffee is doing, and looking at my left hand. Oh, sorry, I needed that. I needed that nice long drag of coffee. Oh. Man, they're giving me the juice a little bit there. It's so good. Alrighty. Looking at my list and my couple list of different things on there. A couple things before we get to the main segment. Just a couple other things to break up the monotony of a couple really long-winded things that we talk about on the podcast. Is number one, I ended up getting a package from my grandmother this week, as she normally sends out a package to the family every couple months. And since how I'm not actually at home with the family anymore, she usually sends me anything that she has for me separate to my address here. And yeah, one of the things she ended up sending me is every year she ends up getting ornaments for us kids, for me, my brother, and my sister now. And so every year she's gotten us a Christmas ornament for almost as long as I can remember, since at least elementary school, which is at least 4, 3, 5. So pretty close to at least 10 years that she's been doing this. And she ended up sending mine a little early and whatnot, just because she really liked it. And that's this cute little coffee. It's a hug in a mug little ornament there that I'm gonna have to find a place to put. I'll probably set it up right above my monitor or something for the time being, since I don't have a little Christmas tree or anything. So that's probably what I'll do, which is also because of coffee that I have. Also, sorry if I sound a little stuffy. I didn't think about that when I started to mention that, but I am going through a little bit of a cold. It's not a major thing, but it has been getting. It's sort of been up and down with the temperatures over here. One day you might wake up and it's cold enough to snow. It's 32 degrees. This is all Fahrenheit for any of you who are watching using the metric system, which in all reality us Americans should be using, but because we're so stupidly independent, we created our own unit of measurement. I don't know why, but we did. So 32 degrees Fahrenheit is, I don't know, 10 degrees Celsius, or close to 0 degrees. Because 32 is freezing point for Fahrenheit, so that's also 0 for Celsius. I don't know. You people who use the metric system, I think, are much better off, because it's what you use in science and stuff. And the conversions and whatnot, so it just makes it so much harder. I don't know. Maybe one day in the future, when we've achieved world peace, we'll also achieve the world standard unit of measurement, just so everybody's on the same page. I don't know why. where was I going with this now? Unit of measurement, ornament, temperature. Yeah, temperature with how cold it's been outside. Wow, that was a really strange tangent. Yeah, but yet the other day was Friday, the 28th, because, yeah, yesterday. Today's 29th, Saturday. Yesterday was Friday. I'm looking at my calendar right now. I should know this. It was up to 80 degrees in the afternoon. So yeah, some days it's around 46 to mid 60s or so. Yeah, some days it's super cold. It gets up to about 50, and then other days it starts at like 60 and gets up to 80 by the afternoon. It's craziness. I mean, there's my like spring fall coat, which unfortunately, if it's sunny out, you get really warm because of the lining in it. And then there's my winter coat. So, yeah, going back and forth between those two, it's been a bit of a pain. Then it's also like, alright, what do you get when it's like 50 degrees out and it's supposed to get up to like 70? Well, it's like, alright, first off, do I wear long? It's like, alright, what's my schedule? Do I wear long pants in the morning, come back and change into shorts in the afternoon, or do I just keep the long pants and I wear my spring fall coat, the red one, for the entire day? Or do I wear with a long sleeve shirt, or do I do a t-shirt and I wear my winter coat with a long shirt, or do I wear the t-shirt because then I can just take the coat off without it later in the day? It's I wish there was like a standard temperature. I wish there was somewhere in the world where I could be where it's a standard temperature the entire time, that temperature being like 67 degrees. Something to where I could wear like long jeans and a t-shirt extremely comfortably without needing a coat. And with it being extremely overcast and cloudy the entire day with almost no sun, and at least once a week it would rain. That's my ideal place to live, right there. But of course, no place is really like that except maybe like Seattle. I don't know. Seattle's that. I don't know why people stereotype Seattle or most places in Washington as the rainy place. Like Washington's all like London, because people stereotype London or England as being rainy and gloomy, which, yeah, from what I see with people vlogging in that area of the world, I just don't see it happening. So, I don't know. It's a strange thing. Anyways, yeah, that was a really weird tangent. My mind just going everywhere today. Which, speaking of, today, I don't know if he is watching currently right now. I believe he had some other stuff to do. Today is, later today at around 4 or 5 o'clock-ish, I'm actually going to be hanging out with my good old friend Zach the Bone Killer Boneshines, who, if any of you are ever wondering, the link to his channel is always down below in the description. It's always been there. It always will be. Go check him out. He hasn't posted stuff for a little while, but that's because he's been busy. He's been working his butt off, making that money, making sure he can live the high life. Whereas, yeah, I'm living the college life and ups and down roller coaster. That's what I love. So yeah, go check him out. He has a whole bunch of Magic the Gathering stuff. He's really into that. I am too. It's just, yeah, with college and then having to work when I'm not at college, I don't get to do it as much. But yeah, still really fun. Always go check him out. He and I are hanging out later today. We're going to head down to Sioux City, which is really strange to think is that I'm actually in South Dakota, but I'm still south from where I live in Iowa. So Orange City is in the northwest corner of Iowa. Maybe I'll bring up a map here. Map of Iowa. Okay. I'll try and bring this up here to show you guys. Yeah, the fact that, yeah, I am still technically south from where I live in. Yeah, okay. So, I'll bring this up. Alright. And it is extremely blurry for you guys. Can I? Yes, I can. Okay. And let's do it once more. Beautiful. Okay, so right now I'm currently here in Vermilion. get my face out of the way. Here in Vermilion, where the mouse cursor is. That's highlighting blue. That's where I currently am. And where my family lives is up here in Orange City. So yeah, this reddish area, this red borderline, this side is Iowa. This side is South Dakota. Now, normally when any of my family need to go anywhere in South Dakota, it's always been this way. It's always been towards Sioux Falls or something west of that. West and north. We very rarely had to go south, except to get to Yankton because of hockey. So yeah, most any time we needed to go somewhere, we head straight over to Haywarden because of Highway 10 here. We go to Haywarden, and then we go up. I believe my family and I, we go from Haywarden, we go up to, I believe it's somewhere around Canton, possibly. Somewhere in this area to Beersford, over to here, up to Sioux Falls. But yeah, otherwise Sioux City is the other main city. We just take Highway 60 down, and boom, we're there. It's just strange to think that I am south of where I live in Orange City, and yet it's still further south to get to Sioux City. Because to get to where I live, is we just go straight over to Hayward, past Alcester and the Alcester Steakhouse, which is the outside landmark of, you're going the right way, 29, down to here, over to Vermilion. And then, yeah, it's still further south to Sioux City, which is really strange. But, yeah, that's just how it is. So, yeah, my friend Zach and I were heading down to Sioux City. And, yeah, we're going to do some B-dubs, which, for those of you who do not know, the extremely weird acronym. I don't know why it's this. I don't know why it's B-dubs, but it's Buffalo Wild Wings. How it gets to B-dubs, I've still never quite figured out. But yeah, we're going to go to B-dubs. We're going to hang out at the, I almost say Coralville Mall. It's not the Coralville Mall. It's the main mall. It's, whatever it is. And then we're going to go see Jack Reacher Never Come Back. Because, Zach and I are extreme Jack Reacher fans. I've actually listened to Jack Reacher more than I've watched, because I read the first book, which I believe is Killing Floor. But the first book I listened to is 61 Hours, which is my favorite of the series. Will probably remain my favorite. And I actually listened to it because it was back when I was sick with pneumonia. Back my sophomore year of school. I was sick for like an entire month and a half, which sucked trying to catch up with homework. But yeah, I ended up listening to Jack Reacher because that's what my dad was listening to. He had recently gotten into Lee Child, and so I just snagged the book that he was finished with. So I listened to that because when you're sick, you really don't want to read, but yet you can listen and watch fairly well. So yeah, I was just listening to that while just doing random stuff. By then, I didn't have an iPhone. I still had an iPod Touch, which was, I believe, 5th gen. So yeah, that's how I got into it. And yeah, 61 Hours is hilarious. Best one in my opinion. And funnily enough, it takes place in South Dakota. Oh, everything's just connecting back. Woo! Of course, it's actually, unfortunately, in a made-up town, unless this town actually exists. And I can't remember the exact town, but I will look it up right now. But taking a look over into the chat, we do have some Chitty-Chat. We have some Chitty-Chat happening in the chat from my team Morty, which I know for sure is my friend David Mortensen. So a big ol' shout out to you, the Rubik's Cube master of the world, who is telling me B then 2 W's or BW can be shortened to B-dubs. Oh! Alright, so Buffalo Wild Wings, BW, B-dubs. I get it now. Still teaching me, Morty, after how many years? Morty and I, we're a couple eccentric people. He got me into the Rubik's cubing solving, and granted, I don't use his exact methods of solving. I use my own different variety just because I find it simpler to remember. But yeah, Morty was the person who got me behind the Rubik's Cube solving, and unfortunately, I do not have a single cube with me, which sucks because I would love to solve it for you guys right now because I can do it very quickly. in a decent amount of time, though my skills would be a bit rusty. So, yeah, my internet is not wanting to cooperate, so 61 hours. I can't spell town correctly. Alright, Bolton, South Dakota is the town, that's right. Which I actually looked up, and it does not exist. And I'll even look it up right here in the Google Maps, Bolton, South Dakota. And what comes up is Bolton Ranch and something else. There is no such town as Bolton, South Dakota. Unless there is, Google just isn't smart enough. You guys know where it is. Post in the chat. One of the only things I do know is that it is somewhere between Pierre, and I wanted to say, there's two towns he said it was between. It was between Pierre and one other. I think it was possibly Rapid City, either that or one of the other main ones. Possibly Chamberlain. I don't know. Can't remember if he said it was along like Highway 90 or if it was off from it. But I would have to re-listen to it or reread it. But yeah, 61 hours, extremely good. I also listened to Bad Luck and Trouble, I think it was. I would have to double check my iTunes, but it was another one where he was stuck between two towns, which were only 2 miles away, between towns Hope and Despair. So literally the names of the towns. And he's stuck between one, and he enters one, doesn't really find much of interest. He goes to the second one and is immediately kicked out for vagrancy by the townspeople. And so he goes back to the other town, sort of asking about what's up and everything, starts to investigate a little deeper, finds his plot, solves his thing. It's really good. Let's see, there's that, and I don't remember if I started another one. I started reading the second book a while back, but I never really got into it. I went off and started to read something else. I can't exactly remember. Sorry, gotta drink that coffee while it's warm. Anyways, and now I have this little gnat trying to get around my food, which I'd rather take a nap because I don't see it right now. I don't know if it's sleeping or it stopped, or if it left, but the past 2 weeks I have had, it's two different ones because I killed the first one. The Japanese beetles are now out. It's the end of October and Japanese beetles are just now getting out within these past couple of weeks. And I hate Japanese beetles because first you think, oh, it's a pretty little ladybug. Well, ladybugs are actually really only the extremely red ones. And supposedly there's supposed to be a difference between the ladybug and the Japanese beetle, which is the actual name for Chinese. I can never remember it. Sort of like origami. I can never remember if it's Chinese or Japanese paper folding. But yeah, the little beetle, which is more of a scarlet color, which is more reddish orange, but a little more towards the orange side. And one of the things is I ended up getting one in my room, and there's this light up there. Can't tell it too well because of it's actually shining light. These little bugs are attracted to it, and when they hit it, it makes this tinging noise. It's just like, yeah, from the looks of it, it's this porcelain, this clear, transparent like porcelain, and when they hit it, it makes a tinging noise, sort of like. I don't know if that's capturing well on the sound or if it's extremely loud. In any case, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's making this little tinging noise every time it hits it. Drives me nuts because I have like an extremely high ceiling. I believe I have like 10-foot ceilings. Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have like almost 10-foot ceilings in here. Which means I have to go out, grab a chair to stand on just to try and reach towards the ceiling, which I still can't get it. But of course, because I know it's like a porcelain or glass on there, I don't want to try and hit it in case it falls and I have to catch it, or it falls and it shatters and breaks, and that's money, and that's even brighter in my room, which I don't want. So yeah, this little bug tinging last week ended up landing on the wall while I was editing something, so I quickly killed it. But yeah, now yesterday, another one came in last night. And the thing is even when I had all the lights off, it was still pinging against the stupid light. Driving me bonkers. But I digress. So, yes, we are then going to, now after that very long rant of stuff, the tangents today, people. The tangents, I'm like a really bad author. Talk about one thing and I go off into another direction instead of staying on point. It's a good thing for if you're writing is don't go off on the side tangents as much. Try and keep as close to the story as possible. As if you do go onto a tangent, make sure it comes back to the story and it doesn't take up and takes too much away from the actual plot or story of the movie. And I'm actually going to take a look outside a moment. Bear with me. Just looking outside because the band is really loud. We just have the band outside playing before the football game, which happens at some point today because it's Parents' Weekend and there's a football game going on. But of course, what I am more interested in is the actual football game going on between Michigan and Michigan State, which is happening today. It is the big state rivalry. For those of you who don't know, Michigan and Michigan State are the two main schools of Michigan, to where it's always every year, or almost every year, that they have faced each other. It's the big rivalry, that at least for my family, just because my dad and I, we are Wolverines. We're Wolverines to the end, as you guys probably know from my mug and from some of the shirts I used to wear. A lot of them have gotten smaller. But yeah, it's the big Michigan rivalry. Because then my brother and my mother are Spartans fans. They're Michigan State fans. My sister is a little undecided still. And yeah, it's always every year when the big rivalry comes out to where whoever wins. And this year, Michigan is 7-0 going in. I can't remember Michigan State's record. I know it was on Facebook, which is why I'm trying to scroll through right now. I can't remember. So yeah, today's the big rivalry that started a while ago. Currently says it's second quarter. Michigan's ahead with 17 to Michigan State's 10. Ooh, that's interesting. Just because Michigan has such a great record this year that we had that huge Illinois game to where it was like 74-0. It was, Michigan has had such a good year. My dad and I, we have such high hopes for this game. Just because I believe the last 3 years we have been the losers of the rivalry. And so we really need this comeback. This game will really help us out. So, we're all hoping. So, yeah. Going on that. Yeah, Morty. Woo, go Wolverines. Anyways, South Dakota also has a game today. Unfortunately, I don't follow them as much. Supposedly, we have a decent record, but I'm not that big of a football fan. I mean, if it's on, then I'll look at the scores, but yeah, it's not something I go out of my way to either watch or do. So, yes, we are then going to... I'll wait on for a while. We're now going to get into the main segment of today's podcast, which for those of you who watched last week's or watched the rebroadcast of it, this week we are talking about Pokemon. Yes, the amazing, wonderful world of Pokemon, thus foreshadowed by my quote earlier today by Meowth, and that is the idea, and the question is if you were living in the world of Pokemon, and the fact that all the regions, the Sinnoh, the Kanto, the Hoto, the Alola, which is still developing because the games aren't out yet. If you lived in the world where all the regions exist and all the Pokemon exist, what would be your main six? What would be your 6 Pokemon team? I also added a couple other things, is the fact that if you are having troubles deciding between 7 or so, or you really want one, like I chose, you can also have one companion Pokemon. Much like Ash has his Pikachu, Brock had his Onix and Sudowoodo, a couple of the other girls had the Piplup, the Togepi, all of those. I can never remember the female names. They're always like names of months or something. But yeah, you can choose one of those. Also, no Mega Evolutions, just because they are still the third evolution or second or first for some of them. Evolution of a Pokemon, just mega. They just look different. So we're ruling out those because it's still the same Pokemon. And the fact that you could only choose one legendary / mystical / mythical. A lot of them go by other names. Basically, if there's only one of them out in the world. Now, in doing my research, I actually came up with a lot of debate, especially for one of my Pokemon, is the actual, like, amount of populated legendaries in the world. Only because, especially in the difference between the show and the movies, now canonical they are, and the manga and the book series and stuff, and how they interrelate, and how each one is canon to the overarching Pokemon world. And then with the video games, there's a lot of debate between some of them. Such as the legendary cats or dogs like Entei, Susurrun, and Ryauku. There's a lot of debate that there's only 3 of those, or there's only 3 of them, the 3 of them in certain areas of the world. There's also this thing that there are multiple Celebes, that there's a ton of Celebes out in the Pokemon world. But where Ash and his friends, they only meet the one. Whereas like Jirachi the Wishmaker, there's only one. There's only one Arceus, there's only one Dialga and Palkia. For some of those, there's only one. Whereas some of them, it's theorized that there's many, it's just you don't see them because the world of Pokemon is either really huge or those Pokemon don't congregate together very often. And this really made it hard for me when I was looking through, because my companion Pokemon that I chose, I didn't know if it was legendary or not, simply because of the movie it appeared in. Sorry, it's a genderless Pokemon. I didn't know if it was legendary or not to where I could pick a legendary. And there was a lot of debate about it because of, in the movie at the end, it shows a lot of this Pokemon together. But it's only shown as one throughout the main movie. In the games, there's only one you can catch. In the books, supposedly, one person caught a wild one of it. Whereas also in the manga and the book of the movie, there's only the one. It goes back and forth till I can figure out. So, for the sake of arguments and people saying, I chose to consider it a legendary-ish type Pokemon. And my companion Pokemon is actually, I can bring it up here. I didn't do this ahead of time. I should have. But my Pokemon is, ta-da, Shaman! I don't know if I can. Yeah, Shaman, the wonderful, beautiful, full hedgehog Pokemon who first appeared in Giratina and the Sky Warrior, which I don't have with me. But I did end up getting the movie a while ago, and it's my favorite movie. And to provide a little bit of background for you guys of Pokemon and me, is Giratina and the Sky Warrior is what really got my brother and I into Pokemon. We had followed the series that was on TV for quite a while, not since like 1990 when it first started, but about the time that the Diamond, Pearl, Platinum series was really popular on TV. To where Piplup was the main Pokemon for the female protagonist. So we had watched it fairly much, and we had sort of liked it, but we were never really into the Pokemon culture. And then this movie came out, and we watched it, and my brother and I immediately decided we want to get into this. We want to be into this culture besides just viewing it from the outside. And Shaman is what made it for me. To where a couple of months after, my brother and I had DSs at the time, and Giratina and the Sky was what got me to get Pokemon Platinum, which is my favorite Pokemon game to date, because it had Shaman in it, because I wanted Shaman, because I loved Shaman in the movie, between its regular form and its Sky form that you can see from left to right. Shaman was just so good. I thought it was super cute and everything. Yeah, Zach! Shaman is the best. So, yeah, I love Shaman. It's cute, and it has 2 different forms, which isn't an evolution. It only does it because of this particular flower, which is, I believe, the Gracidea flower, or the Gracenia. It's one of those they can only get in a certain town in the game, which you can only find by getting this certain letter from Professor Oak to go to this certain port in this certain town to catch this Pokemon. It's really complicated, but I love Shaman. That's really what got me into the games, but it's also what got me into the card game as well. This is when my brother and I decided, you know what? We'd seen people with Pokemon cards. We want to finally get in it. And that's what got us into it. My first card was this starter pack that had Shaman. And then, of course, my second one was getting Shaman EX. Because, you know, if you have the modern card, you have to get the super good card as well. So that's what I did and everything. And yeah, for me, the Gen 4, the Generation 4 Pokemon were really the ones that held with me for the longest time. I'd known about all the other ones in the previous generations, but they just didn't stick with me as well because they weren't in the game. But yeah, going through, I ended up finding this really, really good website that I can recommend to you guys right now. I will hide it for the sake of that. List of Pokemon. So, yes, it is. It is right here, and see how well that shows up, if at all. For those of you who are wondering, it's on Bulbapedia, which is sort of like the Pokemon version of Wikipedia. It's at bulbapedia.bulbgarden.net, and yeah, it's just basically this list that shows all the generations of Pokemon, which was really helpful when I was looking through it, because for a long time I was, looking through and trying to figure out what it was that I wanted and everything. So, yeah, so I will go through my 6 that I chose, and then I will go a little more in depth as to my thinking process. So, my next Pokemon that I chose was Absol from Gen 3 actually, was when it first appeared. For those of you who don't know, I will bring him up right now. Ta-da! Sort of this feline dog type Pokemon. The Mega Evolution is what next to it. So the one on the left is its modern, or its main version that it looks like. Yeah, and Absol, it's just such a beautifully well-made Pokemon that, it's sort of hard not to like it, and it has some really good moves. I believe it's a Darkness Pokemon, Darkness Psychic or something. But it's like only found in like the mountains in Pokemon Platinum, so it's really hard to find at a slightly harder catch rate. And yeah, Absol's just a really cool, really awesome Pokemon that my brother and I love. And I mean, look at that Mega Evolution. That is majestic. You just can't top that. Second one on my list was Sand Slash, which I believe, not Sandals, my keyboard's not working, is this one on the left, which is its first one that appeared in Gen 1. It's one that you can actually catch, and I caught on Pokemon Go by hatching an egg, getting a sand shrew, and evolving it into a Sand Slash. Just because, it's a hedgehog. I love hedgehogs, but it's in the show, Sand Slash is shown to be almost like human height. But in Pokemon Platinum, because it has heights and stuff, it was actually like really small, supposedly. It was about waist high height. But it's this really cool Pokemon that I believe is ground. I believe it's like ground grass or ground sand. The types sort of have changed over the years, and if you actually look there on the left, that is actually what it's going to look like in the new Sun and Moon games. They actually decided to change up its types and make it an ice type Pokemon, which is baffling. This thing that Sun and Moon is doing is taking these types and switching them between Pokemon. It's really strange, but really cool, because Sand Slash still looks amazing, but the name Sand Slash doesn't really look like it applies that well to an ice Pokemon. Sand, ice, sort of counter-reactive here in the real world. I don't know, but Sand Slash is really cool. It has really awesome. It's just very awesome moves. it's definitely one on my team. Then we get to one that I couldn't quite decide that much, and that was Rose Ilya. Yeah, Roselia. One of the things that I had troubles with was which I actually liked more, Roselia or its evolved form in Gen 4, Roserade. It was one of those that I was like, I didn't really know how I felt about it. So I put both of them down because technically it's the same Pokemon, just one's the second evolution and one's the third. So I couldn't tell which one I liked more. Roselia, the second evolution of it, I sort of like just because of the flowers. It's very detailed, very rose-like. But yet when you get to the evolved form, the face is a lot more contoured. The eyes are actually fully open. It's a little more detailed and everything. I was like, but its hands are then a little less detailed, or at least in this photo. So yeah, I like both of them. I mean, what I'm saying here with these Pokemon is that is the evolution that it will stay as. But with Roselia, Roserade, that is, I would be happy with either one. With Shaman, it only has the one evolution. With Absol, it only has the one evolution. Sandslash, it comes from Sandshrew. So this would be either me just getting a Sandslash or evolving a Sandshrew into a Sandslash. All of these Pokemon that I say, it's that evolution that I would have. So Roselia, Roserade, I would take really either one. Then we get to one which sort of breaks it, and that is Snivy. Snivy is one of the starter Pokemon for Gen 5, which was Pokemon Black and White. And the thing with Snivy is I would actually take any of its evolutions. Because, yeah, Snivy, Servine, and yeah. So yeah, basically this is what it evolves from. And I would actually take any of the evolutions of it just because I really enjoy Snivy. Playing Pokemon Black and White, I never finished the game. Only because my DS became too old and it wouldn't accept that there was a game in the cartridge slot. So unfortunately, I've been a couple years without being able to play Pokemon, which sucks. Hopefully, within a year, I can get a 3DS, get the new Sun and Moon, and be able to play the old ones again. But yeah, I love Snivy. I love the way he looks. I love the moves of him. I've always been a fan of leaf or grass type moves, especially in the games. They've always been very cinematic, like Leaf Dance or like Leaf Blade. Oh, I love the animations for those. They're really nice. They're very cool. And yeah, so Snivy, I would take him at any evolution. Like if I got a Snivy and as I had him he just happened to evolve, I would be fine with it just because I think I love all of his evolutions. So as long as I had an evolution of Snivy, I would actually be fine with. Then we get to Lucario, which is a favorite by many who, yeah, from what I've actually heard from watching a couple people play is supposedly Lucario was actually like a Pokemon created that was suggested by like somebody else, like some kid who like loved Pokemon, sort of like, I don't know, as like a last wish or as like a make-a-wish sort of thing, like suggested this blue coyote type character for Pokemon. And so Lucario is sort of like in honor of him, supposedly. I don't know if this is exactly true or not, but from what I've heard from multiple people is this is a common thing. So yeah, it's possible that that's true. But yeah, Lucario, the fighter Pokemon, everybody loves him. There's a movie with him in it as one of the main people. He's very cool. He sort of looks like a cross between like Sonic and Knuckles from the Sonic franchise, which might be interesting to think of him as. But yeah, very cool. He's very good. I almost want to say he was in my 6 Pokemon that I took to defeat Cynthia in Platinum, quite possibly. And then yeah, Lucario, I believe, got a Mega Evolution. Yeah, he got a Mega Evolution, which is just amazing looking. So, yeah, can't beat Lucario. And then, this was actually a last minute change. When I was taking my shower this morning, I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to change it up. To where originally I had Cyndaquil, not Cyndi Lauper, though I do like her music. I was going to say Cyndaquil and any of the evolutions from it, whether that was Typhlosion or Quilava, I believe. Those are its 3 evolutions there. I would have taken either one of those, but I decided, you know what, no. I have to go with the 3rd evolution of the starter Pokemon that I used for Platinum. And so it has to go to, there it is, Empoleon. I mean, Empoleon was one of those that I always kept in my party. I took Piplup as the starting Pokemon for Platinum. Between that, it's not Charmander, it's the monkey, Chimchar, and Tortrig. I chose Piplup. Granted, I was always a fan of the grass types. It's like, I'd go Tortrig, but I was like, you know what? I love Empoleon and his evolution and his moves, so I chose Piplup. Figuring, Piplup I was mad about. Its 2nd evolution wasn't bad, but then Empoleon I loved. He was one of my final ones I took to defeat the champion Cynthia. And Empoleon just looks so majestic with its trident sort of beak face. It's sort of like suit looking like for penguins. Its arms. It's just a very commanding Pokemon that sorry about that. That yeah, you just really like the look of, and he's really cool. He has such strong moves in the game. So last minute change, I'm putting Empoleon in. Just that evolution of him. And so, yes, a couple other ones that the one that I was debating about is with Shaman, if it was legendary or not. I was then going to choose if it was like a common-ish Pokemon, one that I could find in the wild. The other one, the legendary one I was going to have in my party, which would have taken the place of Empoleon, was Entei. If my keyboard actually Entei, one of the 3 legendary cats or dogs in the Pokemon world, because Entei was in its own movie, The Legend of the Unknown or something like that. Entei is just so cool looking. This sort of cat with its flowing mane, its sort of like mask type face. It's so cool, it's so good. It can talk, or at least does telepathically. It's been one of my favorites, one of my brother's favorites for a long time. There's also Suswin, but it just doesn't look as commanding and everything as Entei. And yeah, Entei had a movie all in itself. I believe it was the 3rd Pokemon movie, and yeah, such a good movie. So yeah, that is my 6 Pokemon, 7. Shaman, Absol, Sandslash, Roselia or Roserade, any evolution of Snivy, Lucario, and Empoleon. For those of you who are in the chat right now, if you guys know your Pokemon, go ahead, post those in the chat. Otherwise, go ahead, post them down into the comments below of this podcast, of any of the other podcasts, or mention it to me in social media using my name, Chris Ringerberg, or Lego MacGyver. Somehow I will find it. Otherwise, go to my blog as well. I'll probably post up the Pokemon I choose over there as well. For those of you who don't know what that is, check the description of one of my previous videos, or just look up legomacgyver.wordpress.com, and there you will find me. So, yes, I will now take away this window so now you can see all my face, all of my lovely room. And now I will take a drink of some water. I'm going to wait a little bit to get some coffee. Mainly, for one thing that I'm going to talk about right now is one of the things I did not realize is Batman, the Telltale Batman series that has been going up on my channel and has been popular all over YouTube and everything, is the fact that the 3rd episode of it actually came out this week. It actually came out the 25th, so it caught me by surprise. It was one of those I was on YouTube and I saw people posting it again. And I was like, wait a second. Is episode 3 out? I didn't think episode 3 was out. So I looked it up, and sure enough, episode 3 is out. So I'm actually going to be recording that after this podcast and before my friend Zach gets here, which will be awesome because I love playing it. I love the voice acting, I love the characters and everything. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how my choices affect the 3rd episode because, granted, I am still, I believe, 2 episodes away from posting and being caught up, which will be posted this week, this next week, and possibly the week after, or maybe both. Maybe we'll get a double next week of that to get caught up. And yeah, I'm going to record episode 3 today of the game that just came out. Oh, it's so good. It's so much fun. I love it. One of the other things I want to talk to you guys about is I mentioned it a little bit last week, and I believe possibly the week before, is Minecraft. I'm thinking about getting into Minecraft for a little while now instead of Lego, just because, yeah, Lego Batman I did for so long, I'm still a little drained of, and I'm still trying to hype myself up for one of the Lego games that I have, only because of how long one of them might take, so I'm thinking of doing Minecraft, but the thing that I'm thinking of doing is live streaming it. I believe I figured out a way to do it very haphazardly of streaming Minecraft here onto YouTube. And so I'm thinking of doing that, but it's not just going to be any Minecraft. I decided I'm going to come back to Minecraft with a bit of a bang. And the way I thought of doing that is with mods. I was like, putting mods into Minecraft one by one, it's an absolute pain. If any of you know how to do it really efficiently out there, please tell me, get in touch with me somehow, and we'll create a really fun series, because I want to do something with that with my friend Zach Bonchans at some time. It's going to be slightly scripted for certain ideas or reasons why we do things, which will come hopefully at some point in the future. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue to talk about it until it does happen, because then placebo effect, I think, is the proper usage of the term. But anyways, I decided I wanted to come back with mods, and I thought, you know what, let's come back with a really big bang. We're doing a skyblock, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We're not doing any skyblock. We're doing Sky Factory. This is a mod pack created by Bacon Donut. I don't know him or what he's created, but that's his name. It's created by Bacon Donut. This was actually done by Jordan Marin, the one and only Captain Sparkly Pants. And he ended up doing it, I believe, previously this year, a couple months ago. And yeah, what it is, it's basically Skyblock, but with mods added in, and there's this achievement book of steps to do and to try and complete with different challenges. And so I thought, you know what, that sounds great. But one of the main key things that's different with Skyblock is normally in a normal Skyblock, you start off with one tree, a chest with some things in it, and this sort of L-shaped Tetris piece of land with quite a bit of dirt. With Skyblock, you don't get that. You start off on top of a tree, which is on a single piece of dirt. And from that, you are to create this advanced place full of automatic farming, the largest reactor you can build in Minecraft, filling up an entire chunk full of cobblestone, and other such things as that. All from one tree and one single piece of dirt. And that is how we're coming back to Minecraft on my channel. I'm hopefully going to live stream it. I don't know how well it is. I don't know how well my computer will be able to hold up with it. But we're going to see, how well it goes. And if not, then I will just record it normally and post it up. What I want to know from you guys is, I'll sort of test it out with the first episode, I'll probably go for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if not a lot has happened, or if I just get really into it. But for at least an hour, hour and a half, I'll be doing it. And then what I want to do is either post it out. I want to possibly post it out as just that recording, as that hour and a half recording. Just have this bulk thing of all this stuff happening. Because early on in Sky Factory, I can tell you right now, there's not a lot that happens. It's a very gradual build-up that almost like exponentially goes up. Start off with very little, and as you slowly start to get things, you can then make much more progress towards the end. So yeah, for at least the first episodes, I might at least bulk it. Just putting out those hour-and-a-half settings, fully unedited, uncut, depending on what happens. But yeah, putting those up. I'll be talking to you guys in the chat, telling me what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right, suggestions you guys have and everything. So yeah, I'm thinking of doing that, or I might live stream it and then I'll cut that up into like half-hour episodes that won't really be edited as much, but they'll have like the intro, the outro, and maybe a couple other music things I might speed up through stuff where I don't talk for a while, or while I'm not engaging with you guys in chat. I don't know. It's an idea. I want to get you guys' opinion on that, either now or when I actually start to do that, which hopefully, if nothing happens, will be next week. Is instead of live streaming the next episode of the podcast, I'll wait a week and I'll live stream some Minecraft, which, yeah, should hopefully be extremely fun. So, looking forward to that. Otherwise, if it doesn't work that well live streaming it, I'll just play it normally and it'll just be uploaded somehow. So, next time on Let's Golf with Friends, I've not played anymore. I have a couple episodes left of editing, so possibly next week I'll end up recording more. I have this great idea. I still have to play the new map, The Haunted House, which would have been awesome if I played it previous season. In a couple days it's Halloween. Maybe if I don't have anything going on, I will play some that day and try to hopefully edit it out. Maybe I'll live stream. I don't know. I have to see what homework I have starting this next week. So yeah, I'll have to double check there. Otherwise, I'll have some of that. I also have this great idea for some custom mode. Thinking, I'll give you a little sneak peek. I'm thinking of doing all the courses on air hockey mode, which you guys will just have to wait and see what that involves. But you could probably guess already. Scrap Mechanics still needs to be edited. There's a lot of stuff I have to do there. It's not going to take me a whole lot of time. It's just I have to find a good chunk of time. Hopefully I'll get to that tomorrow so I can at least get one episode out to you guys. Hopefully very soon. Otherwise, other games, really not sure of at the moment. I had a couple ideas, maybe one I might do over Christmas. Otherwise, yeah, post in the comments in either the chat right now, in the comments on social media games you guys think I would love or you want to see me play, and I will take it under heavy consideration because I like playing games and I want to play games that you guys will like to see or will like the commentary of. Looking at my list. So many lists. Yes, okay, this is something I want to talk to you guys about that happened to me last night. One of the things that, if you're a college student, that I would highly advise is if you are sick of the food that is at the university that is part of like the residential dining or whatever, if you're sick of whatever that food is because you get it eat it like all week because it comes with the tuition and whatnot, one of the things that I found pretty cost effective for if you want to eat out is find a Subway. And what I mean by that is you can get a foot long of a sub, and no matter what, it's always going to cost you less than $10 for the sub. And so, unless you just pile on a whole lot of bacon or something, I don't know. There's that. I found Subway very cost effective. Is you can spend money there, and it's very cost effective. Like if you get a foot long of anything there, you will be full. Whether that's just a sub or a sub and chips or subs and cookies, I always found it very cost effective for you. And so that's what I did a lot doing last year, as you guys could probably tell from the blogs I posted or on my blog of everything going on, that Subway's pretty cost effective. There's a ton of variety. You could go to Subway once a week and you could get something different almost every week for a while. But of course I have my favorites of steak and cheese, American cheese, add some bacon, toast that puppy, add some tomatoes, black olives, every once in a while I'll add pickles, and then you just murder that sucker with Chipotle Southwest sauce. Cut that in half. Perfection. I actually tried it a little differently last night. Number one, I didn't do the pickles. Wasn't in the mood for the pickles. But I also did on flatbread. That was good. That was really good. It was much different than doing an Italian loaf or Monterey or cheddar and herbs bread. Is with cheddar and herbs bread is the bread can get a little crispy sometimes when you toast it or it gets warmed up, especially at the ends. But with flatbread, it just gets warm and it stays very soft. You never really have to worry about that crunch from the bread. And so, it's a different eating experience. It was really good. But the main thing I wanted to talk to you guys about and get your opinion on is one of the things I got, because I was very interested in it, is they had a new cookie. They actually had 2 new cookies, but they only had the one of it. And they actually had apple pie cookies. Now, last year, Subway came out with this new cookie that I love. It's the best cookie ever. And that is the strawberry shortcake cookie. Strawberry cheesecake cookie. I can't remember the exact wordage of it. So this beautiful, amazing cookie that you could grow fat on and live happy with. To say the least. And I wanted some last night, but they didn't have any. But I noticed they had apple pie. I was like, how do they do that? How do they achieve apple pie in a cookie? I was like, I can't pass this up. I need to know what this is. And so I ended up getting 3 of them because it's not like as cost effective to get 1 versus 3. But I chose the 3 because, hey, if I really like it, then hey, I have 3 cookies to last me the night. So I ended up getting that, and it was interesting because I had these little apple bits that were almost like raisin size. They're almost like raisins, but it was apple in it. It was very heavy in cinnamon. I almost want to say nutmeg. I thought I could tell nutmeg quite a bit in there. Yeah, it was this very interesting cookie that was extremely soft, and it was very different. That it was almost like a snickerdoodle. It's almost like a snickerdoodle type seasoned cookie, but very soft, very thin. Yeah, it had these appley bits in it. I almost want to say maybe a little bit of like oat or something in it as well, like you're using oatmeal or something. I want to say maybe a little bit of that in it. It was very interesting. It was a very sweet cookie, very cinnamony. And it was very interesting. It was very good. I wonder if any of you guys have tried it yet, or what do you think of it? Just because, it's very good, but not as good as the raspberry cheesecake one, because that's just, that's heaven in a cookie. So, yes. Looking at the chat, LV Lego suggesting you should play Until Dawn. That is something that'd be very interesting. Actually, last year when Until Dawn came out, I was very into watching people play it, like Markiplier, Waglington, Syndicate, the Game Theorist on GT Live. I watched a ton of people play it just to see the choices they make, who they chose to stay alive and everything. And I sort of got thinking, well, it'd be interesting to play, either to live stream or just play in my own time and upload it. But there's a couple of really good actors in it. One of the main guys in it, I want to say it's Mike. Mike in that game is Grant Ward, I believe, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. For those of you who did not know that. Because the main chick, Sam, is Hayden Panettiere, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. And she is the main girl in Heroes. She's the cheerleader. She's also in Hannah Montana as her friend. A couple of notable people in there. It also has Peter Stormage as the psychiatrist guy in it. I know he's in there. I know the one guy, he's pretty popular and stuff. He reminds me of the guy in Mr. Robot. Until Dawn, I don't know. I've never really been a fan of the horror genre, but it's not really a horror genre. It's like Telltale Games version of horror in a way. It's a choose your own event, quick time things of needing to do, and the choices you make matter. The whole butterfly effect, which is something I really want to get into in something else I might talk about. So yeah, Until Dawn, I don't know, I'd have to think about it. But there's also this rumor going around that Until Dawn is getting a sequel. Well, not necessarily a sequel, but it's getting another game, a second game, which I'd be really interested in to see what the plot is about, or yeah, what they're going to do with that. Would they have the same people, like whoever lived, whoever died, or how they would do that? But I'd be very interested, and I might get into that one a little more if I go in not knowing anything about it, versus playing Until Dawn now and having seen so many people play it and having these prejudices of keeping certain people alive or trying to kill certain people. So I don't know. It's definitely something I will keep in mind. So great idea. David in the chat is saying, ever done a Portal playthrough? Now, the interesting thing with Portal is I love Portal. For those of you who haven't watched my Game Dev Tycoon playthrough, there's an entire episode that was almost dedicated to Portal and to Cave Johnson. Because if there's one thing that I love about Portal is Cave Johnson, especially in the second game, where, Cave Johnson does this huge speech. If you don't know, Cave Johnson is voiced by J.K. Simmons, one of the best voice actors ever. The whole speech of, I'm going to burn your house down with the lemons. I'm going to go, life's manager, I'm going to burn this house down with the lemons. Because this whole thing goes, when you get lemonades, make lemonade and everything. And Cave Johnson just goes on this huge rant. It's the best thing ever. I love quoting it. And yeah, my brother and I, we got Portal 2. Because that was one of the main reasons why we got a PS3. It's for Portal 2. And my brother was the one who played through it because it's a single-player game. There is multiplayer co-op mode, but that's not so much to the story behind it. So I just watched him play it, and it was very fun. He got it done in like 24 hours. There was a couple different stints of like 8 hours or so, but he got it done in about 24 hours. It was very good. I love the story of it with GLaDOS and then Wheatley, who is voiced by Stephen Merchant. For those of you who don't know, he's in a couple things right now. He was on a lip sync battle. Very funny guy, very British, very tall too, I didn't realize. So yeah, Portal is one of those that I really love the idea of, with the portal gun and everything, the silent protagonist Chell, or at least who we think is Chell for at least one of the games. So Portal 2 is definitely very fun. You see like the underbelly of Portal and everything, and there's actually a theory sort of thing that I want to do. I keep talking about this show I want to do, is the fact that in Portal 2 is this idea that is this very unreal idea that you keep going down, you keep taking elevators, and you keep going down. And it never seems like you go back up at any point until the end of the game, which is really strange. But yeah, it's a very cool game, very fun. If I had to decide, because, yeah, LD Video is saying Portal 2 is better, plus there's a co-op mode. That is true. My brother and I have never played the original Portal, but I know a little bit of what happens in it, so if I did do it, I'd probably do both. I would do Portal and then do Portal 2. And would I live stream or if I just did episodes? I'm not entirely sure what it is I would do, but I would at least play them somehow. I'd probably start with the first one, just to give people a sense of the background for if or when I ever did Portal 2, just so people aren't lost or they have to go out somewhere else to figure it out. It's just one place that they can know about everything, and I believe Portal 1 is a lot shorter than the second one. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's very much one that I'd be interested in playing. It's one of those I think it's pretty cheap on Steam, so yeah, whether I do it anytime soon, I would have to debate about that. But it's definitely one I would think about. In fact, I'm going to write to these down here until Dawn, Portal 1 and 2. So yeah, Portal 2, definitely from what I've seen of gameplay and from what my brother played, it's a very fun game. So yeah, maybe even I'd get my brother to play it with me for a co-op mode or something, just to do something there. So yes, definitely 2 games I would take into consideration. One game I might play during Christmas time is Grim Fandango. I won't say much about it. But very fun game. If you guys don't know, it's by LucasArts, a franchise that died a couple years back, I believe. But yeah, very fun, very cool. I ended up getting it because I love the music and the story to it, so I'll hopefully play that at some point. Alright. So yeah, any of you guys have games you'd like to suggest in the comments below, go ahead and say that. Also, if any of you guys know a Lego game you want me to play, post in the comments, because right now I have 2 in my Steam library that I could play. I have Lego Pirates of the Caribbean and Lego Jurassic World. And I'm willing to play either one of them, but it's just I need a little help from you guys, a little more hype to figure out which one you guys really want to see. I took a poll a couple months ago and it only got 1 or 2 votes, and so I'm sort of mixed about which one I want to do. It would be a full playthrough like what I tried to do with Lego Batman 3, but if you guys think there's another Lego game out there you would like to see that you would enjoy more than Pirates of the Caribbean or Jurassic World, go ahead and either post in the chat, post in the comments, post on social media, and I'll take it under consideration. Some of them I can get very cheap, some of them it would take a little more, but with Christmas coming around and with possible gift cards, I might be able to purchase them. Like I said, Lego Batman 1 and 2 possibly off limits just because of playing so much at number 3. I'd like to get a little bit of change. Let's see. Yeah, I do know the first Marvel superheroes game, not the Avengers, the superhero one, the first one that came out. My brother and we played through, and so that one I might be a little iffy on. Otherwise, the new Avengers one I'm very interested in just because that's a lot more of the Marvel movies and stuff. So yeah, and especially now with Doctor Strange coming out, I think there's going to be a thing in there of DLC, unless it already came out. I don't know. So yes, Morty, Lego Star Wars is my favorite. Yes, Lego Star Wars. I tried that on my computer. I ended up getting a disc. An actual disc, yes. Actual gaming discs still exist out there in the world of Lego Star Wars, and so I thought, perfect, I'd play that. It'll be awesome, great nostalgia kick. It'll be of the first 3 movies, the first Lego Star Wars game. Fortunately, though, I believe when it came out, it was a 2-disc thing for PC. To where the first disc was the download for it, second game was the actual game. I only had the first one. So, yes, LD Video Lego saying that's a good game. Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga is so fun. If I play Lego Star Wars, I'd probably get the Complete Saga. I won't bring up my Steam right now just because I don't want to slow down my computer at all, and I don't want to have that pop up and whatnot. But if I did play Lego Star Wars, I would get the Complete Saga, so I had it all in one nice package. Granted, I would love to play it as Lego Star Wars and Lego Star Wars 2, but if I can get all of the content of those 2 in the Complete Saga, then I'm just going to get that because I don't know the price difference of it on Steam, but if I can get that as its complete thing, then I would do that and I'd play through all of it. I don't know how. I'd probably do it one movie at a time, episode 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, and then do all the old add-ons and whatnot, just because it's so much fun, and there's such this distinction, like the difference between animation between 1 and then going to 2 and stuff, and the different play styles and the characters. I would love to do it, and the more I think about it, the more I am. You know what? I am going to take the very popular mantra from Minute Minecraft parodies, and I'm going to say screw it. Later today, I'm going to buy Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, and that will be the Lego playthrough I do next, because the more I talk about it and the more you guys are saying it in the chat, the more I really want to play it. So that is going to be the next one. I'm not going to make any promises as to when I'm going to play it and when episodes will be up, or if I live stream it at all. But I will guarantee you that will be the next game, because it sounds like so much fun. Now, there's one caveat with this. I don't know everything that's in the Complete Saga, because it's just the Complete Saga has Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. That's based off of the Cartoon Network series, the one with Ahsoka and everything. Because that, I heard, is a very different game. And I would probably wait and do that until after the original 6, but I don't know. But yeah, I will get the complete saga. I will play that because it sounds like so much fun, and I'd love to get back in it. I'd love to pod race, which when I was younger. But alright, we'll get into a little bit of nostalgia here. Lego Star Wars, the first game, was the reason why my brother and I got a PlayStation. It is what got us into console gaming. It was this game. It was what got us to convince my parents, which didn't take much, to get a PlayStation 2 and get this game, along with Gran Turismo 4, but that was something we had to guarantee from our dad in order for us to get PlayStation. So, we ended up getting Star Wars 1. If any of you know about the PlayStation 2, is PlayStation does not have like a built-in memory system as like the PlayStation 3. So with the PlayStation 2, you actually needed memory cards. These little cartridges that you put into the PlayStation that kept your progress. Now, when we got the PlayStation, we didn't know this, so we could only play Lego Star Wars, and it only saved up what we played until we took the disc out, because we did not have a memory card until months later. So anytime we played it, we had to start over at episode 1 and get through that before we could do anything else, which became a big pain because we wanted to play episode 2 and 3, but when we could only play for a couple hours, it's like, well, progress is reset. So as we get up, we defeat Darth Maul in episode 1 and say, yay, we did it! And the next time we put the disc in, okay, we have to do it all over again, which sucked. And when we were really little, for whenever the game came out, the pod racing was so hard. So we always relied on our friend coming over and playing it for us, because he could get through it very easily, he wouldn't die and everything, and it wouldn't take him an hour to do it. It would literally take us an hour sometimes for my brother and I to pod race through the third episode of episode 1 of Star Wars 1. But yeah, pod racing was so much fun. Then you get to episode 3, where you start out in the ships and everything, finding General Grievous. It's a lot more open world. So much fun. My battery is being used up quite a bit, but that's probably because I'm live streaming. Anyways, so yeah, Lego Star Wars Complete Saga. I'm going to get later today, and I'll play that at some point for you guys, because yeah, seems like a lot of fun, and I would love to do it. And that is probably going to take us close to winding down the stream. Been going for about an hour and a half here, so this will lead up to the question portion of the podcast. For those of you guys watching live, go ahead and post in the chat any questions you have for me or for other people in the chat possibly that you'd like to ask or have answered, or that you'd like to pose for next podcast. Go ahead and post that in the comments. The chat right now or on social media later after the stream, and I will answer them or save them for another podcast. So go ahead, post those down in the chat. I will leave you guys a little time to think of something to post it there, and I will talk about a couple other minor things before I pose my question for the next podcast, which, if I had to guess, is probably going to be the 12th of November, I had to guess. I believe the 11th is Veterans Day. Yes, 11th is Veterans Day, and so Saturday is the 12th. So one of those 2 days I will probably do the podcast if I'm not recording gameplay. So yeah, that'll probably be the next podcast. I'll pose a question at the end of today for then. So yeah, while I wait for you guys to ask any questions that you want, I will talk a little bit about something else I have on here, and that's Inktober. October is coming to a close in 2 days, and I'm still a little behind on my blog for keeping up to date for Inktober. I'm deeply sorry. The past 2 weeks really slammed me with homework and school stuff, taking up quite a bit of time. Therefore, Inktober hasn't been the main thing. I will finish out strong, and hopefully by the end of Halloween, I will have all of them up. I think I'm only behind 1, 2, 3. I think I'm only behind about 3 days on that. So I'm not that far behind, but yeah, I will try and make sure for all of them that I have something up. As you guys know, I'm only doing every other day, so there should be 16 there. I believe I'm at 10 or 11. So I actually have about 4 I need to do, because today's the 29th. Okay, 1, 2, okay, maybe I have about 5, yeah, I have 5 to do actually. Shoot. They will get done either later today, tomorrow, or whatever. But of course, yeah, I'm hanging out with Zach later today, so maybe not. Anyways, yes, so, let me think. Yeah, so yeah, Inktober will be there. What will happen on my blog after that? I'm not sure. I might have a couple ideas of what I'll do. Otherwise, yeah, post ideas of stuff you want to see on the blog besides general stuff. Are you going to do No Shave November and or NaNoWriMo? I'm not sure what that is. I'm gonna look that up. NaNoWriMo. National Novel Writing Month. Oh, that is November. Oh, I did not know that. It's an annual novel writing project that brings together professional and amateurs writers from all over the world. I did not know about that. Thank you for letting me know about that. Elvid Lego. Not quite sure how to pronounce your account name, but it has Lego in it, so it must be good anyways. National Novel Writing Month. I am not sure. I will promise I will do some writing during the month. I don't know if I will post it to the blog or not. I have an idea for that. I just have to okay something with my girlfriend for an end part of it. So, NaNoWriMo, I'm not sure if I will do, but it is something I will keep in mind for at least next year. As for No Shave November, yes, I will be doing that. Right now, my facial hair is not that much from last time, which was 2 weeks ago. I did shave at least once, and so it's very slowly growing back. Of course, with the lighting that's been changed, it's, not quite as evident how long it is, but I will be doing it for November, which, if I had to take a guess, probably won't see much of a difference. Which, yeah, with vlogging at least twice, if I had to guess, in November, on the 11th or 12th, and then during Thanksgiving weekend, seeing how much that grows. Otherwise, go ahead and check out my blog or social media. I will post there photos of what it is, probably starting a midway through November and an end of November for a shave. So, No Shave November, I will do NaNoWriMo. I'll keep in consideration here through the next couple days, though. How much I keep in consideration, I'm not sure. I have a couple projects that need to be done, but yeah, it will be interesting. I'm just going to refresh the Michigan football page right now, and halfway through quarter 3, Michigan is up 27 to Michigan State's 10. Woo! Go Wolverines! We are doing it, man. Quarter and a half left to stay strong. Our defense needed to come out. Our award-winning defense. So good. Alright. So, I'll give it a couple more seconds, minutes here to see if any more questions pop up into the chat. Otherwise, yes, as always, go ahead and if you guys are watching either live, post in the chat. Don't be afraid, whatever you post. There's no criticism from myself about what you say, unless it's something really, really bad, or like not YouTube safe worthy. Then I will say something about that, just to make sure everything is nice and Gucci. So yeah, don't be afraid to post in the chat. I won't criticize you. Hopefully other people in the chat will not criticize you unless it's something that is easily mistaken and somebody might call you out saying, hey, no, it's the opposite of this. Then we'll try and get that figured out. Otherwise, there's no criticism from me. Go ahead and post in the chat whatever you want, especially in the questions section. Otherwise, yeah, just to say, hi, how's it going? Or, hey, finally caught you live streaming. Or, of course, post in the comments below. I know it takes me a while to repost the broadcast of the stream. It's usually a little closer to where I actually stream the next one, which doesn't give you much time to watch it, especially if it's an hour and a half. I'm trying to get better at that, and so, yeah, I believe I found a way to edit the video to add in a little extra stuff. Otherwise, like today, where I've had the window pop up next to me. Hello. Right here, I might try and do that, be a little more prepared next time to do that, and so I won't need to outside edit it as much, and it'll just be re-uploaded completely uncut. So, yeah. So, winding down the podcast today, I will pose my question to you guys, and that is, what would be your time travel device, or how would you travel through time? Are you somebody who's a fan of the 80s and you would travel in style in the DeLorean through time? Or are you a Whovian? Would you travel through time with your tortoise? Or are you somebody who has some other idea, whether that is some time traveling watch, or if you're like Legends of Tomorrow, you have this giant spaceship that takes you through time. What it is would you use to travel through time? That is the question I pose for next time, for you guys to either post in the comments on social media, or wait until the 11th or 12th where I stream, and you guys can bring in your input. I will share mine, and it will be awesome. So, thank you guys for watching the Chitty-Chat cast, podcast dedicated to talking about random stuff, because why not? I have been your host, Lego MacGyver. To all of you master builders and chitty-chatters out there, stay bricky, keep building, and I will see you all next time. Woo! Alright. Of course, you guys will still see this for a couple seconds there because I have to click a button. So, bye!